Hey guys, it's Sam. This is going to be another one of those videos. I'm just going to give you a warning ahead of time. This is going to be a planner chat, and so it's again not going to be something that's beautiful to look at or any of that. This is just me bringing to you my thoughts in the planner world, and I hope that it'll be a good one and that it'll give you some things to think about to help you have less planner chaos going into 2024. I do know that many people are still trying to finalize what planner or planners they're going to use for 2024. And again, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, there's just a lot of things going on out there that doesn't help us in those decision-making processes. I am just the kind of person who is going to say it anyway because I think that it needs to be said, and I say all of this I say all of this in love because I feel like so many of us are in the same place, but I also say this to kind of help myself. A lot of the videos that I make are a result of me just contemplating what causes me issue and to fail in my planning system, and I just want to share with others. I feel like we can just help each other by talking about these things that honestly that trip a lot of us up. And maybe some people don't struggle with the same things, and this video is not going to have a lot for you. And if you don't struggle with these kinds of things, I'm really, really happy for you. Maybe this isn't the video for you. If you're super content with all of the things that you're doing or having all of the planners or kind of flip-flopping and planner hopping, then that's perfectly fine. And planner hopping again is perfectly fine, but I'm just at a point where I feel like I know the kinds of things that I lean in towards and that work for me. And planner boredom, I also believe is a thing. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that, hopefully in another video. So this video is before you hop on the next planner trend. So if you're interested in finding, I wouldn't say planner peace, but more peace in your planning system, then stay tuned. All right, guys, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is your current planner working? Because really, guys, if your current planner system is working, you're organized, you're put together, you're not missing your appointments, you're getting the stuff out of your brain onto paper, and your life is in order. The grass is not always greener on the other side. And so if everything is working in a really, really good way, then I feel like you should be like, hey, hit the brakes. Why am I doing this? Because you could lose very important information. I have missed appointments. I have been out and about with a list that I had made like 2 or 3 weeks before, and it was left behind in another planner. And then I was like making 2 or 3 trips trying to find the things that I needed because I couldn't remember what I needed. And yes, you can do those things digitally and never leave them behind, but I've said it before, it's just not how my brain works. We're talking specifically about paper today, so we're gonna try to get away from the digital for this video. So you could lose your information, disappointments, think about the time that you took. And part of the planning community are people who enjoy writing, like the act of writing. It can be very calming, and so maybe that's not a thing. So I want to write the same list in 15 different planners for the year. That's not going to bother me at all. But there is sometimes information that gets missed along the way that could have been really important to you, and if you don't need to make a switch, that might be a negative for you in your life. Maybe you do need a change. Maybe your planner completely sucks and you hate everything about it. You've used it for a day, you've used it for a week, you've struggled through the entire year, and now it's time for you to make a change in your planning system, and you see this new planner trend. And so maybe that is something that you need to consider. So if the answer is, my planning system is absolutely perfect, that's where I'd put like a hard stop, like what are we doing here? And really stop and think, what are the reasons behind this if your current planner system is working? And then if it isn't and you're trying to make a change, we still can move on to the next, and that is going to be, how's your mental health? And I think that I don't hear a lot of people addressing this in most videos, but I have seen a huge connection between my mental health and what is going on with my planner. And I have specifically seen it tied to the two systems that I find myself going to the most. So if you've been around here any length of time at all, you'll know that I often go between the Hobonichi weeks and rings of some sort, generally Pocket Plus or personal. I've had a couple of times that I was in A6, that size is good too, but my two mainstays are generally personal and Pocket Plus size. And so I go through periods where I am in this like planner bliss and things are just moving along and I'm super happy, and then all of a sudden I hate everything about my planning system and I don't know, nothing feels right, nothing fits right. I'm unhappy with my pen, I'm unhappy with the paper, I'm unhappy with the rings, I'm unhappy with something about my system, and I think, okay, it's time to move on. And for me, I don't like to hop on planner trends so much. I think being in the social media world, sometimes we do it without even realizing it, but that's not the place that I look first. I seem to like to go to YouTube and just like type in best functional planner. And I'm generally looking for something that I haven't tried before, hoping that that's going to be the solution to my problems. And then before I know it, I've placed several online orders. And of course, if those planners are new planners or new sizes, then I'm like, oh, now I need to buy another cover, which if you have seen my last video, how to not suck at planning, like that is danger zone. We should definitely not be doing that. But I don't take the time to just stop and say, what else is going on in your life? Because it's probably really not about the paper planner that you have in your lineup, right? So I have to take the time. Do I always? No, but I'm trying so hard to get better at what else is going on in your life. Do you have some circumstances that are stressing you out? Are you really stressed out at work? Do you have a family change, a job change? You're moving? For me personally, I definitely deal with anxiety, depression. I have PMDD that's related to your cycle. There are so many factors that can go into what is causing me a problem with my planner, because I have to look at the patterns in my own life. And when I am anxious, nothing feels right. When I have PMDD, that's an even more elevated feeling of something's just not right. And when we're in our planners all day, every day, it's easy to associate that feeling of unhappiness, unrest, something's wrong to, oh, well, it has to be my planner, right? Or I wouldn't feel this way, or I would feel content. So if you struggle at all with your mental health, that is definitely one thing that would be a key thing to look at to see, why am I even thinking about this to begin with? And, you know, sometimes we do have life changes that really will cause us to need a different system or a bigger system or a smaller system over another, but it's just something that you should definitely look at to help you. The next thing would be, and this, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have probably been here, and that is, have you tried it before? So I'll just give an example. I've seen a lot in my feed on Instagram specifically about personal rings, people hopping to personal rings, and it kind of makes me chuckle because I can't even tell you the amount of times I've had on Instagram comments or comments on a YouTube video when I have shared my personal rings. I really like your planning style, but I hate rings. I hate ring binders. I hate the way they open and close. I hate working around the rings. If only personal rings didn't have the rings. And then to see someone using personal rings and everybody hopping on the bandwagon, but remember that you told me 3 months ago that you absolutely hated rings. So, you know, you've tried it. You've had like a bad experience with it. You had bad memories about it. You just don't like it. Think about, you tried it before. You clearly didn't stick with it. Sit down and think about, list it out. What are the things about this system that you hated before? And what has changed? Have you changed? Has your perspective changed about it because you think that it's cool now? Even if you think that it's cool, if you get it in and those feelings haven't changed at all, or your life hasn't significantly changed, or your planning style hasn't significantly changed, you're just about to waste like $100 or more on a system that is in no way going to work for you. And I will give you fair warning, where some planner systems are easy to sell. So the more popular ones that are out now that were like pre-orders that you can't get your hands on, if you get those in and you don't like those planners, that's going to be easy to offload on someone else. And you're probably not going to lose too much money in doing so. Moterms usually you can sell pretty easily, and Gillios and Vanderspecs you can generally sell pretty easily. For whatever reason, these days, it's really difficult to sell a Filofax. I don't know why, but it just is. And so just be careful, specifically if you're buying something, think about, am I going to be able to offload this if I've tried it before and I'm pretty sure that it's not going to work for me? So have you tried it before? This is the next one that it's like a touchy subject because like everybody has their own funds and they are free to use them as they please, but do you have the extra money for this? I mean, the economy is not great, and is this going to be something that is going to cause you any kind of financial burden for this month, for the next several days, whatever the time period is? Do you have the money to just throw at this? And this kind of goes back to what I was just saying. If you're pretty sure that if you get it in and try it and you'll be able to sell it really easily, then it's not really that big of a deal. But if it's something that you think that is going to be more of a niche thing, or just possibly is going to be harder to offload, if you decide that it isn't for you, do with your money whatever you will. I'm not here to judge you for that. It's honestly something to consider. And I feel with the planner community and the kind of, we're all about consumerism here lately, it's something that isn't talked about because it's just kind of an understood thing that of course you're going to buy the next planner, and of course you're going to buy the next cover, and of course you're going to buy all of the matching decoration and stickers because that's what's expected of you in social media. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting ready to head into a no spend year, and it's kind of scary because, you know, this is December now and 2024 is like right around the corner, and I've given myself this huge thing that is kind of scary because I have a YouTube channel about stationery, and if I'm not buying new things to talk about, you know, who's going to come and watch my channel? But still, I'm going to do it because that's what's right for me, and I have to be genuine to myself, and I've always done that. And for me in this period of my life, it's not that I don't have the money to spend. I just feel like redirecting the money that I have been spending somewhere else so that I know what it feels like to not have instant gratification. And if you're not into that, this is a challenge that I'm giving myself. You've decided that you either aren't enjoying your current planner system or you're just ready to make a change. You think that your mental health isn't your issue, or you think it's going to be good for your mental health to make a change anyway. You have tried it before, but you think it's going to work this time, or you've tried it before and hated it, but you don't care because you think it's cool, and you have the extra funds, or you don't have the extra funds and you don't care and you're going to buy it anyway. Now I think you should really sit down and do like a pros cons list about this system, maybe versus another system. A lot of people are like, well, am I going to use this planner or that planner next year? And so sit it all out. Write it down on a piece of paper. This is planner A, planner B, planner C, or planner A through G, and write a pros cons list about each of them and kind of try to narrow things down. You know, if you're between two things and they're both popular right now, maybe the Hobonichi Weeks is going to be a better system for you than a Personal Rings, and you can find out why by writing down what you can do with that, or vice versa, whatever. And then it would be really good to do like a preview of a layout. So in a lot of companies, you generally can either preview their pages for free with like an undated printable, or you can find online freebies from a lot of different shops. And I could go on listing many of them, but one of the ones that I think are going to be the best, I would say bang for your buck, but there's no bucks involved. Peanuts Planner Co. That is a company that I think is tried and true. And if you join her Facebook group, she has many different freebies on there. And honestly, you can set up a functional ring planner for practically free by using her shop freebies on the Facebook group. And I definitely support her. I have ordered, paid for numerous inserts in numerous sizes. I have ordered customs from her, and then I also have used every year her freebies. And so I definitely suggest you do some kind of free or free-ish preview of what you think you're going to like. They sell really inexpensive non-leather covers on Amazon. You can get like the plastic covers that you can use to do, what's it called? When you put your planner away for the year. I'm sorry, my COVID brain is like full speed. Like I've had like the huge brain fogs and I've had to write everything down because of it. Can't think of words. It's been rough. When you put your planner away for the year, it's difficult with rings, but you can buy like a cheap binder that you can use to store away your inserts for the year and just use that as a planner cover preview. Obviously, it's not going to feel great and be nice and lovely like a more expensive leather planner cover, but it will give you an idea of if that system would work for you without spending as much money. So grab yourself from some free printables, grab yourself an inexpensive binder, and go to town. You can also preview what a Hobonichi Weeks feels like besides the paper. Unless you have Tomoe River paper laying around, you can find printables in the Hobonichi Week size, search places like Etsy or online, and then you can print out for a few dollars maybe a system without being in the book itself. Maybe that layout will not work for you at all. And so it would probably be better to save, I don't know, 30 bucks or more by buying a cheap printable instead of buying the planner itself. So whatever the system is, if you can find an insert online that's close at least to what you're looking at spending the money on, print it out and preview it and see if it is a horrible system for you or not. I wish so many times that I had done that, but you kind of psych yourself out in your head and you're like, oh, and then you really think it through and it doesn't work out anyway. But sometimes you can give yourself like your best chance of being successful if you do the whole pros, cons, and preview situation. All right, and so then the last thing that I will say about all of this, because it's about hopping on trends, right? So it's really, really nice, especially on social media, to feel included and to have the same fun, new, fresh planner that you see so many other people using. It's really, really nice to feel part of the gang and to be doing the thing, right? Like it's a trend for a reason. Everybody's got one. Everyone's doing it. I don't have one of those Lulu, whatever, lemon, whatever, white. I never got one of those bags. I have big boobs. I think that it would look incredibly strange for me to wear one of those bags. So like everyone in Target is wearing that, right? So get one of those bags because that's what everybody else is wearing. So it's the same thing in the planner community, right? Is Sam gonna look weird in that bag because she has big boobs? Yeah, probably. Well, in the end, does it matter? No. But I don't like the way it seems like that look would look on me. So I'm giving it a pass. I've given it a pass. But, you know, think about all of those things. Is it going to work for you despite all of that? And so you don't care if it's going to look weird on you. It's the bag that you want to use. And you can imagine your life hands-free and blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing with this. It's nice to feel like you're one of the guys that's doing the thing, but not at the cost of your sanity, not at the cost of your budget if you don't have it, and not, most importantly, at the cost of your individualism, because we are all different and we are all special. And if your system is working for you, you should totally stay with it. And I'm not here to tell you what you should do. I'm just here to give some ideas to think about before you hop on the next planner trend. So what do you think, guys? I know you're either going to be like, yes, absolutely, or you're going to be like, just shut up, turn off the camera, go home. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. I think that I really like hearing everyone's perspectives, and I especially like it when I post a video that I'm concerned that I'm gonna get some harsher feedback on, but I post it anyway because I think that it can help someone. And honestly, if it can help one person, I think that it's worth it to weed through some negative comments or some negative messages. But by and large, everybody is pretty positive, and I just hope that this video is helpful for someone out there. Anyway, I can't wait to talk to you in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate your support. And if you're new around here and think that you might enjoy other videos that I make, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.